put in the comments about how the Vikings monitored the sun with this stone, the Sunstone. And what it is I've watched the programme myself on television, well, some of it, and I remember watching one when they're looking at the Sunstone. So we're going to play this little video, and I might have to break in a little bit because obviously it's probably copyrighted, so I'll have to break in a bit, but very interesting anyway. Let's play.
I believe there's a way to go west. I have something that will change everything.
What? What is that?
Now just listen. A while back I met someone. A wanderer. He told me it was possible to go west over the open sea using this. It's a sunboard. It needs to sit in water.
Another wanderer.
This time it's different.
Now tell me, Ragnar, this wanderer of yours, did he ever sail west himself?
Just get some water. Now, this candle is the sun. Every day, the sun rises up into the sky until noon. See how the shadow shortens? At noon, it is at its shortest. The day before sailing, you mark a circle around the pointer where the shadow is at its shortest at noon. The next day at sea, you place the board back into the water around noon and watch your shadow.
If you want a bloodthirsty, curdling, never-ending story, watch the Vikings. It is a bit gory, but the story is brilliant, and the actors seem so good in it that, on a side note, a bit upset that actually, I don't mean it horribly, but he's got such a good accent in this thing to be a Viking. He's actually Australian and speaks like, good day this, good day that. And he isn't at all like his character as Ragnar. And also very interesting that after all, they had a form of technology, and maybe they had more. I feel, I made many videos about it, with the way that their stuff was, that they were, and they had totems, they're Indians. They were Indians. But then we were at this time, they were all Indians everywhere. You know, North American Indians, got Mexican Indians. There was Indians everywhere. Even the pharaohs were Indians. When you look at Indians and pharaohs, you can see it's quite similar. Feathers everywhere. But anyway, let's carry on with this video, because he's going to explain a little bit now. I might have to break in once or twice more, but let's just watch a bit more of this video.
If the shadow only touches a circle,
Of course, remains true.
yes. And if it passes outside the circle like this,
Then you have drifted. And you must steer further south.
yes. And what if it never reaches the circle?
Then you are too far south and must steer more to the north.
That's it.
No magnetic compasses, no sextants, only the sun and stars. One of the tricks that Viking navigators had up their sleeves was the ability to find the sun, even when it was below the horizon or behind cloud cover, using something called a Sunstone. The use of the Sunstone was first written down in the Icelandic legend Ralphus Thauder.
Keep the noon shadow on the circle, and your course will be true. West.
What if there is no sun? How can the board help you then? How could you find your way?
Using this.
But is this story true? Did the Vikings really have a magic stone that could let them see through the clouds or over the horizon? Maybe it was just a myth or a metaphor. Or maybe it was something like this. This is a piece of Iceland spar, a mineral made of crystallized calcium carbonate, or calcite. Iceland spar can be used for navigation thanks to a special physical property called birefringence. Birefringence means that the amount that light is refracted when it passes through the crystal depends on the polarity of the light. When a beam of light, like sunlight, passes through the crystal, it splits into two beams. These are called the ordinary and the extraordinary beams. You can see this by looking through the crystal. You can see that everything that's viewed through the crystal appears doubled. But how can this be used to find the sun? Well, we can't be entirely sure, but recent studies found a possible method. First, a mark was drawn on the top of the crystal, using pine tar or charcoal. Next, the crystal would be pointed at the brightest part of the horizon. The navigator would look up through the bottom of the crystal so that they could see two dots refracted through the stone. Then they would move the crystal along the horizon until both dots appeared equal in brightness. When this happened, the navigator would know that the front of the crystal was pointed toward the sun. When this method was tested under experimental conditions, it was found that with a bit of practice, this method could be used to find the sun with an accuracy of just 1 or 2 degrees, which is certainly accurate enough to be used to navigate.
Follow me outside. They call it the Sunstone. You see? There's the sun.